was typing too fast. 10:26 is the time. On this Thursday morning, it's the 12th day of March. We're in with Kurt Prenzler. He's running for Madison County Clerk, and now with the Consolidated Office, Madison County Clerk and Recorder. March 17th is 5 days away. Kurt, how are you feeling?
Feeling great.
Well, and now take me through. I mean, you've been working. It's been a busy couple of months, with this primary, and it seems like you've been really up and down the county and really trying to reach the voter. Where do you stand right now? How are you feeling, and how do you think the voters are feeling ahead of primary day?
Well, I feel great. I was actually kind of searching. I intended to bring in a little green card. I've given out 500 Happy St. Patrick's Day cards recently, yeah. And full disclosure, I'm not Irish. My name it's not Prenzler, by the way. I'm not Irish. I'm not Catholic. I have a German name and I'm Lutheran, but I like St. Patrick. And I've been giving out these little Happy St. Patrick's Day cards. They're green, and I intended, CJ, to give one to you, and I guess I dropped it. Maybe it's on the street. Maybe I littered as I was coming in here.
Or we look at it as blessing somebody else with that card that stumbles upon it, too.
That's right. There you go. That's right.
Well, it's been really starting to pick up a little bit when it comes to conversations regarding, this primary race. And it's one of the few contested races, I feel like, on the 17th ballot for us. We do have some other ones, but it seems like voters are really starting to have some conversations about this. And where do you feel like those conversations are lying right now?
Well, I think in a primary, people are looking to see who you are. Yeah. Are you, in the Republican primary, they're looking to see are you truly a Republican? So I'm a CPA, first of all, so I do talk about numbers. And I warned you before we started this conversation, I'm going to be talking about numbers, because talking about numbers is hard when you're on the radio. I should have brought in some signs or something. But I will say that I kind of am certified as a conservative because I work about one block from here in Alton. I work for Eagle Forum Education and Legal, which was founded by Phyllis Schlafly years ago. And it is kind of the quintessential conservative organization. So pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-Constitution. I would not have been hired, and I would not be happy working with Eagle Forum, and they would not be happy with me if I was not pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-Constitution. And I want to say, too, that if anyone has any questions for me on any issues, they should feel free to call me. I've always published my cell phone number. It's 618-514-2599, 514-2599. So feel free to call me if you have any questions. But I think one of the two issues, the county clerk, everyone knows, is in charge of the elections, managing the elections, and we'll talk about that. But it really comes down to two issues: property taxes and elections. Now, why property taxes? Actually, I was treasurer for 6 years, and I blew the whistle on Fred Bath on a big scandal in the treasurer's office. He went to federal prison. Again, I'm a CPA, so I was treasurer. But actually, the taxes are calculated in the county clerk's office. And then after they're calculated, they're sent over to the treasurer's office, where they send out the tax bills and collect the money and send it out to the taxing districts. So the county clerk's office actually has a lot to do with property taxes. And number one, the woman who is our county clerk right now, when she ran for office, and it probably got her elected, she promised that she was going to reduce taxes. Well, a county clerk can't do that. And so the Democrats are already kind of making fun of her. So that's one of my arguments, is that if she is the Republican nominee, she's unlikely to be elected because they're already kind of making fun of that promise. But number two, what the county clerk does do is calculate taxes. So I've always been known as someone who has been fighting against higher property taxes. As county clerk, as county chairman, I reduced our county government, not the whole tax bill, but the county government portion of the tax bill by about 5%, and then kept it level for about 8 years. I've also fought against backdoor referendums, which are tricky ways to raise taxes without voter approvals. So one thing that distinguishes me from the woman I'm running against is I'm in favor of letting the citizens vote on property tax caps. It's called PTEL. I'm in favor of that being on the ballot. When she got elected, it probably helped her get elected. She said she was for that, but then she changed her mind. Okay. So one other issue here within your listening area is that she had what others have called secret meetings with school districts to help them maximize their tax levies. And particularly in Bethalto, citizens learned about those meetings and they wanted to sit in and hear what was said, and they were denied that opportunity. So that's a lack of transparency. Then there's another issue, and this gets into complicated numbers here, but in calculating taxes, the county clerk's office for this last year, which means property taxes collected in 2025, actually managed to increase property taxes by about $200,000. Now, how did they do that? Through the rounding process, but they actually did things like this. If you were to take, and this is difficult, if you were to take a number like 23.1, and if you were to eliminate one decimal place, it would end up being 23, not 24. You would not take the number 23.1 and round it up to 24. But that's what happened in the calculations. That's a very complicated issue, but I will, and everyone has always known, I'm not going to promise to do something I can't do, but I have always worked very, very hard on behalf of the taxpayer, and I would do that as county clerk. The other issue is elections. Okay. Now, the county clerk manages elections. Now, I work for the Phyllis Schlafly organization, Eagle Forum, and in their list of what they stand for in terms of American sovereignty, this is what is said for Eagle Forum Educational Legal. We favor minimizing election fraud by requiring photo identification and cleaning up voter registration rolls. Well, the voter registration rolls, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And again, I'm going to talk about numbers. So our county has lost population from 2010. We were about 269,000. Today, we've lost about 8,000 in populations over the past 15, 16 years. But our voter rolls in 2013, it was 176,000. We now have 16,500 more voters than we did in 2013. So that means we've lost 8,000 in population, and yet we've added 16,500. Now I want to talk about another word that, if anyone knows me, I always talk about something called benchmarking. What is benchmarking? Benchmarking is basically maybe it comes from carpentry. I don't know. Measure twice, cut once. And but McDonald's watches Burger King. Burger King watches McDonald's. Target watches Walmart. Walmart watches Target to see how they do things. Okay, that's benchmarking. And in government, and this is what I've done, I've looked at other counties to see how they do things. It's free. It's free education to go and visit and talk to other counties and see how they do things. And when I was, that's how I discovered the scandal in the Madison County Treasurer's Office. I was elected in 2010. I wasn't told by Madison County officials who knew there were problems. I was told by other counties who knew what was going on in Madison County. And at that time, they said, "Kurt, you're crazy for running. Don't you know Madison County's a Democrat machine. You'll never win." But indeed, I was vindicated because the FBI came in and investigated that. And sure enough, Treasurer Fred Bathon went to federal prison for bid rigging for 4 years on tax sales. It's complicated. Wow. But let's just say that I learned about that through benchmarking, okay, from other counties. Well, and I've talked to other counties, and they've looked at this situation. How can Madison County lose population over the past 15 years of 8,000, and yet we've added 16,500 to the voter rolls. That is called you don't trim the voter rolls. In Illinois state law and other states, it says right here in Phyllis Schlafly's Eagle Forum, cleaning up voter registration rolls. What do we mean by that? We mean when people die, you take them off the voter rolls. When people move out of the county, you take them off the voter rolls. Now, this is nothing that you should take lightly because, CJ, if I were to take you off the voter rolls, I would be kind of denying you the right to vote. Mm-hmm. And so that's a heavy, weighty matter, and you do this methodically. So I've been over to St. Louis. We have a lot of saints around here. Yeah. St. Patrick, St. Clair, St. Charles, St. Louis. And so I've been over to visit the largest county in our area, which is St. Louis County. And they have a little bit less than 1 million people. And they've had a very stable population, St. Louis County, very stable over the past 15 years. And their voter rolls have been very stable. Okay. And I went over there, and they have it's not a partisan election authority. It's not a county clerk. It's an election authority. They have one Democrat director, one Republican director. And I asked the Democrat director, I said, so how do you manage your voter rolls? You choose these verbs differently. You clean voter rolls, you trim voter rolls, you manage them, or you purge them. That's the bad, purging voter rolls. It sounds like something bad. But essentially what you're doing is you're cleaning, you're managing, you're trimming, you're taking those people, you're watching the obituaries to take people off the voter rolls if they've died. That makes sense. And then also if they've moved out of the county. And I said, how do you do that? And he said, every day. That's what we do every day, every day, every day. We're in touch with the post office. We're in touch with people and checking to see if people still live in the county, if they've moved. And this is something that, as they look at the numbers in Madison County, and I've talked to other good county clerks, and they've said, Kurt, if you're elected, your job number one needs to be to trim the voter rolls, clean the voter rolls, manage the voter rolls, purge the voter rolls. And as a matter of fact, the woman I'm running against about 4 months ago in a Republican meeting, she stood up and said, I know I need to trim the voter rolls by about 8,000, but it's taken me some time to learn the job. Well, I don't know where she came up with the number of 8,000, but this is, again, nothing that you can take a big machete to or a big axe. You can't do that. You have to do it in a very methodical, careful way. And it's just hard work. And again, that is something that I've learned through benchmarking by talking to other counties.
It's 10:40 on the nose. Why don't we do this? We'll take a quick break. We're going to come back with Kurt Prenzler. He's the candidate for Madison County Clerk, and with, again, that office being Consolidated Clerk and Recorder. Republican candidate. He's taking on Linda Andreas. She is the current incumbent in the position. We'll take a quick break, come back, and talk state of the race some more with candidate Kurt Prenzler right after this. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today. to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
What's up, it's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells,
an assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark Paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
10:43. Welcome back. Kurt Prenzler back in the studio, candidate for Madison County Clerk, and I just want to, I get yelled at about this all the time. I keep saying Madison County Clerk and Recorder. I know the office is consolidated, but both positions, still the job gets done. Right? Thank you. At least I'm vindicated. That's right. Going into this a little bit more, 17th is here of March, and you're at the time now. You've done this a few times now with elections. Is it one of those things where you're just, we're here and we'll see what happens on the 17th, or is there still some more work that you're going to be putting in the next couple of days?
Well, it's just a lot of good communication, and that's really what makes our country tick. And about several years ago, and this is one of the reasons I'm running, is a farmer northeast of Edwardsville told me, "Hey, Kurt, I appreciate what you've done in your elected positions with property taxes, but if we don't have honest elections, if we don't have good elections, we don't have a country." And I think we've seen that in 2020. I personally think that there were a lot of, I can use the word shenanigans because St. Patrick's Day is coming up. There are a lot of shenanigans that took place in 2020. And I think now I'm reading in the news that the Department of Justice is looking at that in Arizona and Georgia, some of these swing states. By the way, I am endorsed by Sidney Powell. I don't know if you knew that. Wow. Yeah, Sidney Powell, the attorney who stepped up and defended President Trump, a great federal prosecutor with great experience who lives in Texas now, originated in North Carolina. She has endorsed me because of election integrity. We need, and so how do we get election integrity? Now, President Trump and the Republicans, and I'm a Republican, I'm a real Republican, we want the SAVE Act. Now, polls indicate that both Republicans and Democrats want voter ID when people go to vote. 80% of Americans think it's not a problem when you go to vote that they ask you for your ID, like driver's license. That's not a burden. That's not onerous. And I just want to go back to elections. Okay, so certainly I support the SAVE Act, but I think it's kind of disingenuous when a Republican like my opponent says, oh, I like the SAVE Act, but she's not cleaning the voter rolls. The voter rolls are one of the most important things to clean. So why should we always depend on federal legislation to solve our problems when the county clerk is not cleaning the voter rolls? And I just want to go back to these numbers again. We are a county of about 261,000 people. And yet, over the past 12 years, we've lost 8,000 in population, but we've added 16,500 to the voter rolls. That is absolutely evidence. That's a difference it's 24,500 difference. We have to look at our voter rolls. And I want to go back to County Clerk 101, American sovereignty. What Phyllis Schlafly would say, Phyllis Schlafly, who founded Eagle Forum right here in River City, right here in Alton, Illinois, literally a block from here. And it says here in the Eagle Forum Educational Legal, we favor minimizing election fraud by requiring photo identification and cleaning up voter registration rolls. Well, we have not done that here in Madison County, and that's what I pledged to do. Again, I have not. I've checked that with other county clerks, and they've told me, Kurt, if you're elected, that is your job number one. Remember when we had job number one, Ford said that, quality job number one, or quality job. So I know what my first job will be as county clerk, and that is cleaning up the voter rolls. And again, that's nothing you do with a big axe or a chainsaw or a machete. It's something that you do very methodically because that's really important to people, the right to vote.
And, before I let you go, any final thoughts, as you head into the next 5 days here before March the 17th? Number one, is there any way people can reach out to you if they have any more questions? And then, two, just really final thoughts as we head into primary day.
Well, I've got Kurt Prenzler, CPA, on Facebook. They can send me a message. They can go to my website, RiverBender.com. They can call my phone number, my cell phone, 618-514-2599, or text me. That's my cell phone. So it's all about transparency. And if you look at our Constitution and our way of life in the United States, the First Amendment, right of free speech. And I'm told that our First Amendment in the world, that we're the only country that mentions freedom of the press. So our founding fathers not only mentioned First Amendment, and we all know our founding fathers also really said that an informed citizenry was very important to our way of governing ourselves. And that's what, again, we've seen that local newspapers have had a hard time, in the last couple decades because of the internet. And that's why the local press is so important. Transparency, and that's what I will do. I will fight for the taxpayers, I've done in the past, and fight for transparency.
Absolutely. Well, Kurt, thank you so much for stopping by. And really, if you have anything else to update us on before the 17th.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And don't forget to get one of Kurt's cards whenever you want. I'm still bummed I missed mine.
It's in my car 1 block from here, so I'll make sure you get it.
We'll take a quick break. We'll have a write-up on this on RiverBender.com, 10:50 the time. On this Thursday morning, we'll come back, wrap up the show right after this.